Yes. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we start with our workshop this afternoon about Indian tourism in Central Vietnam. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Subhash Chandar of HorecFex 2024. He is the clinical manager of Asia DMC and the guiding force behind the operation in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Asia DMC subsidiary company, 𝐻𝐸 Aviation, is the ground handler for the Indigo airline, which launched the first direct flight between India and Vietnam in 2019, and currently operate 14 flights per week to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Today, he will share with us expert insight on Indian tourism in Vietnam.
Thank you, Ms. Wai. Hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. So good afternoon and xin chào to Vietnamese friends and namaste to Indian friends. The topic is a little bit interesting because the Indian tourists started coming into Vietnam. So I would like to present something about the Indian tourism, how it can shape our future in Vietnam. So okay, before getting into the presentation, I would just give a quick introduction about our company. So Asia DMC is a 27-year-old company based in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines. And we are also planning to open in Malaysia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and India in the coming years. And we have offices in 3 offices in Vietnam, and we also have the largest fleet in Halong Bay with 17 boats named 𝐕𝐢𝐞𝐿 and 𝐼𝐸 cruises. We are also building a resort in Hoi An called Nam Ya Retreat Resort, and we are also the GSA for Indigo Airlines, Jeju Air, Thai Airways, American Airlines for Vietnam, and sooner we'll be in Cambodia also. So we also have sales offices in all around the world. So in 2012, I'm the first Indian to work for tourism. And before 2 years, I was working for a tourism magazine. So I think I am suitable to do a presentation about Indian market. And so coming to the outbound tourism from India. India has the largest growing outbound tourism market after China, with a significant number of Indian travelers traveling destinations around the world for various purposes. So I make 5 important things people travel for. One is the leisure travel. Second is the business travel, which is MICE, and destination weddings, educational trips, and also visiting friends and relatives. India is one of the top 10 countries with the most outbound tourists. Number 1 is China, Germany, US, UK, France, South Korea, Japan, India, Canada, and Russia. India is one of the top 10 countries with highest outbound spending. In 2023, Indians spent around 33 billion US dollar for outbound tourism, and expected to increase about 42 billion in 2024, as per the research by the INCHAM. And also, in 2023, the outbound MICE travelers were around 2 million delegates, but in 2024, the number increased. This is for all around the world. And also, 28.2 million travels last year around the world. So this is the number of arrivals per country. So the number 1 country Indians travel is Dubai, which has around 2.2 million Indians traveling to Dubai. And second is Thailand, which is about 1.68 million tourists from India. Third is Singapore, which is about more than 1 million tourists. And Malaysia is around 671,000. And you can see Vietnam is not even half of Dubai or the other countries. So how to increase this one? So these are the current statistics from the GSO of General Statistics Office from Vietnam. So how we are going to improve this number? This is for 392,000 is for the last year, 2023. And if you look into the spendings, so Indians spend much on food, alcohol, and tobacco. They are the top 5. And garments and fabrics, they are the top 5. And leather and synthetic goods, top 3. Cosmetics, skincare, perfume care products, top 2. Jewelry and watches, top 4. And electrical and camera and accessories is top 3. So this is the record from the World Tourism Council, Travel and Tourism Council, as per the 2023. These numbers may increase, or maybe in some cases it may go higher in 2024. So this is the amount spent in 2019. Indians spend around $22.9 billion for outbound tourism, and the growth rate was around 11 to 12% annually. Then 2020 and 2021 was pandemic. It was people cannot travel outside. In 2023, the total outbound tourism spending, it was just after the pandemic, is about 28 to 30 billion US dollar. And in 2024, it's projected that is around 32 to 35 billion US dollar Indians will spend for outbound tourism. And by 2030, it's projected that 55 to 60 billion US dollar Indians would be spending for outbound tourism. So how Vietnam is approaching the Indian market? If you compare 2019 and if you compare 2024, Indian visitors to Vietnam are expected to increase at least 1,000% to pre-pandemic. And we had until 2024 May, we had around 196,000 Indian arrived into Vietnam for various purposes. And 231,000 Indians arrived to Vietnam until the first 6 months of this year. Indians are now top 9 countries visiting Vietnam, and the average growth rate is 45% per month. And currently we have 60 direct flights from India to Vietnam, which is to Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and sooner to Danang from Ahmedabad. And many hotels in 2012, when I joined tourism, there was only 1 Indian restaurant in Danang, 3 Indian restaurants in Hanoi, and 7 Indian restaurants in Ho Chi Minh City. But in 2024, you can't imagine there are more than 175 Indian restaurants all over Vietnam. There were a certain time in Halong Bay, we were not able to cater Indian food. I will come to the point why Indian food. We were not able to cater Indian food to Halong Bay, which was a 4 hours drive from Hanoi to Halong Bay before the express highway was there. We had a lot of challenges. So we used to buy 𝐸𝐸 from the, for this yogurt. So we buy 𝐸𝐸 from Hanoi and we bring it to Halong Bay and we buy the pickles. So it was very difficult. But now almost every cruises, every hotels in Halong Bay, they provide Indian food. And the best part is almost all the top hotels in Vietnam and also 4-star or 3-star hotels, they provide 2 to 3 Indian items for breakfast. When in 2012, we need to go and literally fall on the hotel's feet. Can you please provide me Indian food? They will say, no, we don't provide Indian food. Can I cater from outside? Sorry, we don't allow you to cater from outside. But things changed. Hotels are improving. It's because the volume is getting more and more. There was because the food part, which I was insisting, in India, we call is unity in diversity, because we have different religion, different language speakers. So it's like a country united into a big country. So many people cannot eat beef. Many people cannot eat pork. So if you go for a breakfast, and many people cannot eat non-vegetarian. So if you provide a breakfast with phở bò, bún bò, bún chả, soy thịt, many people cannot handle it. So that's why most of the time we request the hotels to have at least 2 Indian items for breakfast. So the Indians guests, when they stay in the hotel, they feel comfortable to stay in the hotel. And I believe Andre and Parker made a good job by having Indian chef in Danang. I think it's one of the leading first Indian chef to have in the hotel. So thanks to Furama for that. And the funny thing is, in 2019, I went to Bana Hills. I asked them, hey, can you provide some Indian vegetarian food in Bana Hills? But now I'm surprised to see Bana Hills have an Indian buffet plus Indian restaurant in 2024. So things are changing, and it's a good sign. Things are changing. So these are the direct flights from India to Vietnam. So currently from India, there are 5 destinations connected. And as I said, there are 60 flights connecting into Vietnam per week. And by 2026, it could be 120 flights. That means double the increase. Especially like Indigo, as I was mentioning you, we are GSA for Indigo. If you would have read the news, Indigo has a Guinness record for ordering 500 aircrafts to Airbus and Boeing. So sooner or later, there will be a direct flight from operated by Indigo to Danang. And so now the growing interest, I know you all know them. So on the Bacco, Mr. Chom, and Prime Minister of Vietnam, and the other 3 are the ex-Prime Minister, our current Prime Minister, and the first Prime Minister of India. So from the time of independence, Vietnam and India has been always a friend. We were not enemies, or we were not like not supporting each other. We were always supporting each other. And if you notice, recently, Win Group has invested $2 billion in my state, Tamil Nadu, in India. They have invested for the VinFast car factory. And cooperation in science, technology, agriculture, energy, information and communications, education and training, cultural, tourism, and people to exchanges have been developing positively all over the years. And the connection between 2 countries also has strengthened from independence until now. The Prime Minister of Vietnam was in India recently, and if you notice, Adani Group, which is one of the largest, richest man in the world and the largest corporate in India, is going to invest $10 billion into Vietnam. One would be the project would be $2 million investment in Lien Chiu Port in Danang. And the company is also interested in working on aviation and logistic cooperation projects, including the constructions of Chu Lai Airport. So Quang Nam people are very lucky, so they don't have to come to Danang, they can directly fly to Quang Nam. And also Long Tan International Airport in Ho Chi Minh City. So these are projects by the Indian side to Vietnam and the Vietnam side to India. It has been already done. So I see with the interest of 2 countries coming into business exchanges, I believe there will be a lot of Indians coming here. Vietnam is going to work in India, and this can create more and more traffic for the flights. And it also can create more tourists coming into Vietnam. When the husband or the wife is working in Vietnam, they may come to visit the relatives. So now, why Vietnam? It's many things in Vietnam. The first thing is the warmth and friendliness. When 2006, when I landed in Vietnam, my first place to live in Vietnam was Quang Ngai, which is around 3 hours drive from here. And I landed in Danang. For me, I knew Vietnam through Central Vietnam. It's not like I'm not against North Vietnam or South Vietnam or Central Vietnam, but I felt the hospitality from the Central Vietnam. So that made me well. So first thing is Vietnamese warmth and friendliness. Second is the cultural richness. Vietnam also has similar cultural richness like India. Of course, India may be a big brother, Vietnam may be a younger brother, but we both countries have cultural richness like same. And the third one is affordability. Today I was reading a news in Facebook saying that a guy came from US who was working for a cruise ship who was spending a hotel for $14 or $15 in Danang. And he said nowhere in the world he could get a good affordable hotel and good food like Vietnam. Of course, you can get $10 hotel all around the world, but not as good as Vietnam. So that is something Vietnamese have to be proud of. So that is something I believe which makes more interest for the tourists to come into Vietnam. Second is shopping. As I showed you in the previous slide, Indians love shopping. They are, from the low budget products to high-end products. So if you see to Benteng Market or Saigon Square or Dong Xuan Market or even Chohan or even some shopping malls, every third person you will meet are Indians. There was a time you will be the only Indian, people will look at you, wow. But now there's a good time that you see every third guest or the third customer is an Indian. So Vietnam is also a shopping paradise for Indians. But this is the catch, okay? Whoever is working in hospitality, tourism, one thing, it's not me. I'm not that rich, okay. So, but this is something you need to understand. When you deal with Indians, this is one word you will always hear. That is, can I get more discount? So that's Indians, okay. We don't take anything for granted. So if you give me $100, okay, I may come and ask you, okay, can you get me for $99? That's the mentality. If you give me for $99, I may come back and ask $98, okay? Because we have the volume. So sometimes we think that our volume can buy your products, same like Chinese and this thing. So I have seen, because we deal with Chinese tourists, we also deal with European tourists, we also deal with American tourists. But when I see some tourists, they give you more than what it's valid for. But some tourists, they bargain, but end of the day, they give you more business. So the volume makes you more revenue, which I always tell to the people. And by the way, India is one of big country which loves gold, okay? So now, what are the expectations of an Indian traveler? So the first thing, the expectation of the Indian traveler is a good flight connectivity. Danang was getting popular, but then it went down. But again, it's going to get popular, of course, because there is no direct flight connectivity. I heard from October 23rd, there will be direct flight connectivity from India. So the Indians, when they want to book, go to a destination, the first thing they look is flight connectivity. Second thing is value for money. as I said, there are several rich Indians who will buy out the entire property. And there are middle-class Indians who will go for a budget hotel. And there are also some we don't call poor, like who may travel once in a year, but they still travel and they may go for a hotel which is like $15, $20. So we have all three categories of clients. We don't have only one set of clients. We have all set of clients. So they will go to any destination, value for money. If example, if I have more money, maybe I stay in Intercontinental or Furama or Grand Mercure or some hotel. If I have less budget, I may go for a 4-star hotel. If I have lesser budget, then may I go for a 3-star hotel. If I don't have overall budget, maybe I go for a Nyacho or like a bunk bed or something like that. So that's Indian. The second one is social media influence. Bollywood, the Indian movie industry is #1 in the world. It's bigger than Hollywood. So we Indians love watching movies. We Indians love Facebook. We Indians love watching Instagram videos. So social media influence, if there are a lot of destination, promoted in social media, Indians will surely come. One example is the Bana Hills Hand Bridge. The people will book for Ho Chi Minh City, but they will ask me, "Hey, Mr. Subhash, can you take us to the Hand Bridge?" Hand Bridge is in Danang, but they do not know, but still it's popular among this thing. Sometimes they come to Danang and they ask us, "Can you bring us to the train street?" Train street is in Hanoi, but it's popular in social media. So that is social media influence also plays a bigger role for the tourists to choose a destination. The fourth thing is smooth visa process. So in 2012, when an Indian wants to come to Vietnam, I have to apply a visa on arrival letter to the immigration, which takes 7 working days. And it's a lot of process. But now it takes 3 to 5 working days. You can go to online, you can apply the visa through online e-visa project, and you can travel very easily. The fifth point is ease of booking. So, every Indian has a smartphone. Even the younger generation, they love using smartphone. They don't want to work with a DMC or a travel agent in India. They book everything by themselves. Like I'm talking about the FIT clients or the leisure clients. They book everything by themselves. We have several websites like Make My Trip, East My Trip. So these kind of websites allow you to book the flight, allow you to book the hotels, and most important, I saw also Grab. So they come, they take a Grab from the airport, they go to Bana Hills by Grab. So sometimes I went with clients to Bana Hills. Some of the Grab driver come and ask me, "Hello, you Grab to Danang." So these digital convenience becoming more tourists to choose a destination. They don't want to go for booking with the regular travel agents. They book through online. And safety and security. So one thing I'm very proud of Vietnam is anytime you are normal or you are drunk, you still can travel very safely in Vietnam. And the fifth one is, and also the culinary experience. Some of the Indians would love to have the culinary experience in Vietnam. My timing is low, so I'm trying to finish it as soon as possible. And of course, hospitality and service quality, sightseeing, value for money, and shopping. So now, what are the challenges and solutions which we can overcome? First thing is the visa website. So this we are facing a trouble. If you see when the Indians book through e-visa, which we were informing the tourism board several times to come up with a solution, you will see this word processing. That means you don't have any idea whether the visa is approved or whether it needs more documents or anything. So this has to be changed. So, or else you give a free visa. Indians would love to go with free visa. And that's the most important point is limited understanding of Indian travelers. This is what the Indians expect when they book into a destination, but this is what they get. So the hotels, the restaurants, the travel agents who are approaching Indian market, the first thing they have to know is the expectation. You don't have to at least become like this, at least make a fake one. Don't go for that kind of reality. That spoils the destination. And the most important thing is room for big groups. Last year, few months ago, you would have read there was a 4,500 pax group in Hanoi. But can you imagine in Thailand, 4,500 pax at one time? It's possible. But in Vietnam, it's not possible. The reason why? You don't have big rooms. You don't have big hotels. Of course, I think the new hotel building up has more than 1,500 rooms. So Parker will have more guests. Again, except Ariana, where is another big space? You don't have any big space, except restaurant, Banaras, okay. Where is other big restaurant which can accommodate 200, 300 people at the same time? So we need more venues, we need more restaurants, we need more hotels which can accommodate more Indians. Indians will come as a huge number. And the most important thing which you need to do is a teamwork. So we call united we stand, divided we fall. Now the hotels do a direct approach, the restaurants do a direct approach, the services do a direct approach. But if you work together with like a tour operator, maybe we can get more clients. We can make it more united and make it more easier for everyone to make money. There are even some hotels in Vietnam. So I don't want to mention any brand's name. So they offer the DMC the same price. They offer the travel agent the same price. They offer the end user, the corporate, the same price. How do we make money? How do we do business if you are offering the same rate for everyone? It's like killing the other property. It's also killing the tourism business. So that is something which has to be improved. Work as a team. And okay, as I said, no time. You all would know this series like 𝐶𝐸𝐲𝐷, okay? So I'm not going to make more time like this series, which was running for several years. Okay, what we can do is to attract more Indians. What we can do is we can do a lot of marketing campaigns in India. Maybe Vietnam government need to make a visa free for Indians to come into Vietnam. Increase availability of Indian cuisine. I request Indian restaurants to open more and more Indian restaurants with a bigger space and with more menus, and train and improve local hospitality staff and vendors. One thing which is I need to mention in this one, sorry, I need 2 more minutes. Because most of the people think that Indians always bargain. So sometimes when Indian guests go, so no, that kind of things has to improve. The government and also the tourism board, the hotels need to educate the local vendors, the local staff to attract more Indians. And language support. Okay, currently we face a lot of difficulty. Yesterday I lost my phone. So when I have to call Vinaphone or Mobifone, or even, I don't ask you to have a Hindi speaking or Tamil speaking, at least English speaking. So when I call them, hello sir, can you give me your, can you find my phone? This is what I get all the time. Okay, so sorry, this is as a foreigner what I face in Vietnam. Then invest in MICE tourism. That MICE is a big business from India. The government, the local owners, the investors need to invest more in MICE tourism. And of course, cultural exchange programs. Indian cultural festivals. Thanks to Furama, last time I attended the Holi festival. I think there are not only Holi festival, there are plenty of festivals which needs to be operated in Ho Chi Minh City, and in Hanoi. There are a lot of festivals, but in Danang very few. Thanks to Alex, because Alex was one. Alex. So Alex, Furama, and Pataka, they organized a Holi festival the first time in Danang, and I was so surprised. I said, okay, let's join. So this is what need to attract more. Need to educate the people about the Indian cultural festival, and also expand direct flight routes. That we are working on it. There may be direct flight routes, and the most important thing, Indians love Bollywood, as I said earlier. And if a Bollywood star or a Bollywood movie is made in a destination, they will come because they want to see the famous actors where they danced, where they had a fight scene or everything. So the government also need to think about Bollywood tourism. So, okay, so I don't want to take more time on the other people. So I thank you for the time, and thank you, Andre, thank you, Parker, thank you, Purama, and thank you for the organizers to give me a chance to speak about Indian tourism can shape our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Subhash Chandar, for your insightful view. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to contact him off the stage for any questions you may have. We will continue in a few minutes with an expert panel digging deeper into what Mr. Subhash Chandar just spoke about.